Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to clock the lies that were told in Clarissa's interview, especially when it comes down to the time frame of when her and Papoose got together. Because Clarissa's unaware of her saying that it was 6 months, that they were together for 6 months when her movie came out and Remy exposed them and how her team supposedly told her to not engage with the receipts that were shown, you know? So I'm going to play this clip again for anyone who didn't see my other video, who's just now tuning in, so you can see what she said exactly.
Yeah.
And my team was hitting me up like, Clarissa, don't respond, don't say nothing, no, just let it. And I was like, oh my God, I hate the narrative that's being written because it's not true.
Yeah.
And when you keep letting somebody get off with just lying, like, first of all, us as adults, hold yourself accountable. Like, be honest. That wasn't a thing. They were not together. Be honest.
Okay.
Okay, that's what it was. Me and Pep had been together 6 months already, but I wanted it private. He wanted it private because I had just got out of a relationship where, once again, my relationship was public, and when it didn't, after being engaged and then not getting married, you're like, hell no, I'm not going public again. So that was like, okay, now I'm back in another public relationship, but then it has this drama tied to it that I didn't ask for when
Yeah.
and my team was hitting me up like, Clarissa, don't.
Okay, so you heard her once again said that her and Papoose had been together for 6 months when they were exposed, and she didn't want to be tied down to the drama. And, she had been in a relationship, and at that time it was over with, I guess, because she was with Papoose. Well, that does not seem to add up to the dates and to what I'm about to show, because she was clearly still with Tony Rich. And let's start with the post that her and Papoose both put up on their supposed anniversary when they were trying to act like, oh, this is our first time. We just met and took a photo together. Meanwhile, they had already been dating because, according to Clarissa, they were together for 6 months already. So this would mean that when they took this photo, they were clearly already talking, already interacting, because how else would he be able to get tickets or get flown out to see her in person at her fight without Remy, because she was talking to Remy before that, right? So remember when Papoose posted this on July 6th, he said, on this day, I met Claressa Shields. This is her first picture we ever, or this is the first picture we ever took, not knowing a bright future was ahead of us. I love you, baby. And he played the song by Tony, Anniversary. So that was him already letting us know they were already dealing with each other, right? And then Clarissa, she responded to that. She put the same thing. She put, wow, it's July 6th. Exactly 2 years ago, I met MC Papoose. So crazy what can happen in 2 years. This was our first time meeting and first picture. Trying to let us think or believe that, oh, we just naturally met, and then from here on, things, developed. Meanwhile, they were already talking to each other. This is why he came to this fight. Now, that was supposedly July 6th, they said, right, in 2024. And they're acting like, oh, we had just met. We were only friends. We didn't, nothing started happening until September of 2024. Well, Clarissa, we have Tony Rich, who was posting her. This is August of 2024, right? He posted her. He put, love you, Claressa Shields, August 21st, 2024. Well after when Clarissa and Papoose took that photo. Then we also have July 26, 2024, where Tony Rich posted her. He put, let's go, baby, wartime. These moments are precious. Quote, Tony Rich fit. This was at a weigh-in of hers, whatever fight she had, or whoever that woman was that she fought. He was there for that, right? So we got July 26, 2024. And then we have August 21st of 2024. Now, if her and Tony Rich were over, why would he be posting her, congratulating her, telling her he loves her if things were over with them? Not to even mention the fact that in this photo with her and Papoose, she had on an engagement ring. You see her hand held up. She has a ring on that hand, which means she was clearly with Tony Rich at the time. Right? Let's take a look at June 8th, 2024. When she did that video, when she was like, I'm engaged, and she was eating, and she held up that ring. And I guess people got this confused thinking that she was talking about Papoose, because apparently this video popped back up once she was already with Papoose, and people were thinking that she was saying that she was engaged to him. But no, this was an engagement ring from Tony Rich. And this was in June of 2024, right? So you see how the dates are just conflicting, and it seems like you definitely were dealing with both of them. And it definitely seems like whatever was going on with you and Tony Rich, you ended that to be with Papoose. That's why you didn't want the media on it. That's why when it was time to promote the movie, you didn't want to just come out and say like, oh, I'm done with my fiance that I've been posting and you've been seeing me with, and I'm now dealing with Papoose, who to the public is still with Remy, and I don't want that to cause any problems with my movie because my team is acting like I need to get endorsements and all of the things that she was saying. When in reality, it seems like you just didn't want to look like you were messy and that you were possibly a cheater. And that's what this comes down to. Now, look at this other photo from May 5th, 2024. It's a photo Tony Rich posted. It was him, Claressa, and Terrence Crawford. And it says, great night with two of my favorite. So just a month before, or 2 months before, you were still with Tony Rich. Still with him. Whatever happened between you two, you didn't tell the public because you ended up DMing Papoose and chatting with him on the low. As I will remain to say, it was on the low. Anything on the low is meant to stay that way, because if you bring it to the public, it's just not right. It's something wrong with that situation. Anything that's natural, anything with no strings attached, you're not going to sit here and hide it. That's the thing. You were clearly engaged and you were out and about. Everybody knew who you were with. You were both posting each other. He proposed to you. It was a big deal. It was recorded. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, here you are with Papoose. And you're no longer with Tony Rich, right? Once again, doing interviews. And it honestly, what it seems like, I know a lot of people like to sit and tell people to do their research, but these people that are on radio platforms and do interviews, they're the ones that need to do their research. Because it's no way she sat up there with 3 co-hosts and the most they did was mention the married man instead of getting into detail. They're not even asking her about Tony Rich. They're letting her, as she likes to say, that the public is spinning a narrative, but that's what you and Papoose have been doing since you got together. How do you jump from being together from September of 2024 to now it was 6 months, which means June of 2024, right? That's 6 months before December, June. So she's admitting that she's been with him since June of 2024. Here you are in May of 2024 with your fiance. Here you are in June of 2024 showing off an engagement ring. Meanwhile, you are talking to Papoose in the DMs and flying him out to your fight. right? This is the foolery, but the receipts are out there because they've said so much. They can't continue a lie. The truth is bound to come out within all of these lies that have been told. And I don't know if she deliberately said that about the 6 months because I don't know how her mind works. Did she forget that she's gone on platforms and they've posted about being together since September because Remy exposed them in December? So she's trying to act like, oh, we've only been together. We were only together for a couple of months and I wanted to keep it a secret because my movie was coming out. And now you're just openly saying that you were together for 6 months before then. And to sit in and try to put the blame on Remy and try to say, oh, she's happily with someone. First of all, she just did an interview and said how she is single. So how is she happily with someone if she said that she's single? And whatever was going on between her and Papoose, that's for them to deal with. Because he filed after being exposed doesn't mean that he did that to prove his love to you, Claressa. That's just not the way it works. But that's what you want to believe because you are adamant about being with this married man and thinking that you're going to have this fulfilling life and possibly marriage and possibly kid with him. Like he's not too old to even want that at this point. He wants money and he's trying to get it from you. And that's what it is. Because if that's what he would have wanted, he would have said that in his interview. Well, at least the last one he did, which was the Vlad interview, right? I think that's the last interview that he did. Where he spoke on her, at least, as far as being married and living together. And he said, absolutely not. I don't know why Tony Rich is being so silent when it comes to this, because him coming forward and really making things clear would do a lot. But for some reason, he doesn't want to talk. At some point, I did think that Claressa possibly could be paying him off to keep him silent. But I don't even think that anymore. I don't think so. He could really come and blow the lid off of all of this and just let it be known. But for some reason, he doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to tell the truth about him still being with Claressa while she got with Papoose. She's not being clocked about being cool with Remy. No one is mentioning that. No one is mentioning that. The only thing we've gotten out of these interviews are people, the woman that asked her about, being with a married man. And she's trying to make it seem like people break up, people get divorced. Like, what are you talking about? Like I said before, you'd be better off just saying, I don't care that he's married. You might as well just say that instead of trying to put the blame on Remy, trying to act like, well, she's doing the same thing. Why are you so worried about us? That's what she does. She deflects and she keeps bringing Remy up for some reason. And it's crazy at this point. Papoose probably has her thinking that, oh, it's a stall on this divorce because I want money. And in her mind, she's thinking like, well, okay, you should get that money then. All right, that's fine. That's fine. That's what she's thinking. That could be the case. But at this point, things need to be done. It needs to be done, and he needs to be able to fulfill all of these promises that Claressa claims that he gave her. Enough with the lies. She was clearly with Tony Rich, and she let us know that she's been with Papoose since June of 2024. So for her sitting on the Breakfast Club talking about it'll be 2 years in September, just lying, knowing that they have been together. And then on top of that, we got Maserati Bud that was dealing with her in that time period as well. he was in the picture too. So that's just what it's going to be until possibly Tony Rich says something. But at this point, I don't even think he will. I don't even expect, I don't even look forward to seeing him say anything. If he does, it'll be a surprise. It'll be like, okay, he's tired of the lies and he wants to tell his truth. Until that happens, she's going to continue to go with this story and try to make her and Papoose seem like they were innocent and that he was no longer with Remy, even though he was still living with her. Even though they never came out and told the public that they were done with each other until he started messing with her. So guys, let me know what you think about this. Thank you for watching this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Leave a comment. Please hype this video. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to all of you again soon.